Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Inspiring Educators. And for this episode, I have three co-hosts. They are my students at the Laguna State Polytechnic University, and they are all educators. Okay, future licensed professional teachers. Let me introduce Miss Shamira Jafar and Ms. Reveille Elbow from the Math Majors, and Mr. Romel Leron from the Social Studies Majors. And for our guest this wonderful afternoon, she is a good teacher of mine before, okay? She is an inspirational teacher when I was still at the Colegio de San Juan de Letran, Calamba, and we're very honored that she gave us time this wonderful Saturday afternoon to know more about herself as an educator. How did she cope up with this pandemic situation? And finally, the highlight of this podcast, how does she inspire her learners? And without further ado, let's all welcome in our Inspiring Educators podcast, Mrs. Norma Bardos Villamor. Good afternoon, Ma'am V. How are you?
Good afternoon, Bryant, and good afternoon to all those who are listening right now in his podcast. I'm so happy, Bryant, because you are doing so well in the advancement of technology. But of course, I am happy for that. Syempre. It's not but I'm happy for you. So good afternoon once again to everyone and to all the students listening right now.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Villamor. And I'm so excited. I'm so flattered. You know me, ma'am. I've been asking you to drop by in my very humble podcast. And finally, in the second season, I was able to get your yes. And we are really so excited to know more about you, ma'am. And my students are also excited to know who is Ma'am Villamor. So, dear co-host, you may start now.
So, hi, hello, mabuhay. This is Reveille or Alba from the Laguna State Polytechnic University speaking. And I would just like to say that I am so glad to be a co-host of this podcast. And with no further ado, Miss Villamor, let me ask you the most generic questions that ever existed in this world. Can you tell something about yourself or something that could represent you as a person so that our viewers could know you even better?
Okay, as I always say, I am just Norma. My friends usually call me darling because I'm always a darling to them, probably. I am a mother, a wife, a teacher, a student as well, a mentor, of course, a colleague to my fellow Letronite teachers, and a friend. But this is always my disclaimer. I am not perfect. I do not know everything. I have flaws. I claim to have imperfections, but I am an empowered person. I am a teacher and I am a mom, and I believe that I am a success in the making. Yeah, that's me.
What a wonderful way of introducing yourself, Ma'am Villamor. And I am so, without even asking you other questions, I am already inspired of what you have said about your personality. But also, our viewers or our listeners are also curious about where you came from, or specifically, where are you born and what are the places you have been in your entire life?
Okay. um, it's as if saying my origin and my history. Actually, when I was young, I came from a poor family, but I'm not ashamed of that. I believe we all do believe in our own timelines, and we all do believe in our strength and potentials, and I always know that every day is a learning opportunity. But to begin with, I was born in San Pablo City. I I studied here in Calamba City when I was 6 years old. I had my baccalaureate degree, bachelor in elementary education, major in or specialization in preschool education in Colegio de San Juan de Letran, Calamba. That was in 1996. And I had several courses. I had my bachelor in music slash master in music, major in music education in Santa Isabel University. I also had units in MAPE or Master of Arts in Education, major in Music Arts, PE and Health. But my degree in Masters is actually Master of Arts in Education, major in Guidance and Counseling. I had also my studies in other courses such as online courses, and I know Mr. Atensha can attest to that. She's one of my inspirations as well, with my very good friend, Miss Glenn Cortizano of LSPU. They have been two of the most what do you call that, important persons in my life in terms of academic growth and progress. And I am currently studying in LSPU as well in Santa Cruz main campus, and I'm taking Doctor of Education, major in Educational Management. So that's basically my educational background. But in terms of experiences, I had several speaking engagements, both in local and international as well. One of my most favorite part as the part of being a speaker was my experience in Boston, Massachusetts, in America. So that was like 2 years ago now. From now, that was in 2018, but I still can feel the vibrance of a Filipino when I was there. So being the only teacher there from the third world country in the Philippines. So I got very nervous there, but I believe I was able to move forward and show the world what we got as Filipinos. So I had a presentation there in the Harvard Faculty Club in Harvard University in Boston, Massachusetts, in America. I had the research presentation, but as a teacher myself, I was able to share what's the latest about teaching strategies and learning strategies among Filipino children. And I was able to bring a certain research from the Philippines there in the Harvard Faculty Club. And aside from that, I do love making music. I write songs. Currently, I am working into my 8th song. So I am into writing inspirational and motivational song. And I believe you were able to have listened to one of my songs. I do not know if you were there, but some of the students and my international friends were able to hear one of my songs. And I love my song, of course, because that's what I do. I write music, I paint, I draw. I'm into speaking engagements. I'm into motivating people. I'm into mentoring my colleagues and younger generations like you and like Sir Bryant. And one thing that I do love about myself is that I always believe in myself. No matter how or what distractions or, let's say, negativities around flourishing around me, I always think of the positivity that I can do. I am always excited with what I can achieve, and I'm always contented with what I have. So for me, that's a matter of perspective. Everything is a matter of perspective. All we need to do is to believe in our own timeline and be able to flourish above all negativities. So I guess that's me. Did I say too
It's
many?
No, my opinion is that there is a lot, or you have a lot of things coming on your plate right now. And as a matter of fact, I am also a student who came from a poor family, so I can really relate myself into your situation. And basing from your experiences and educational background, I could say that you use your previous situation as your motivation to achieve all of your dreams. And that was really inspiring, and what you say at the end of your answer was really motivational for me as a student who is less fortunate than the others. But moving on, can we ask to what are or what is the school that you are currently teaching right now so that our listeners could be aware of it?
I am currently working full time at Colegio de San Juan de Letran, Calamba. I have been in the colegio for almost 15 years now. I'll be turning 15th in my service on June this year. And I am working as a teacher, as an academic chair for basic education, grade school, preschool to grade school. And aside from that, I also have side works, like I do consultancy, a particular school in, I cannot mention the name of that school because it's a part-time consultation in Batangas. And my other consultation is in Singapore. The school is HFSE, Happy Family School of Excellence International School in Singapore. So these are two educational institutions where I belong. In Singapore, I work there as a consultant for academics, for examination, for staffing and employee and human resource as well. So these are primarily the primary what do you call that, primary things that I do currently.
It seems like you are like Prof. Atensha, who has a lot of jobs right now, and that was really motivational also because as a future educator, most of the listeners were coming or were asking for something that could inspire them to work hard like you. But most importantly, one of the highlights of our questionnaire for you is that can you share something about your journey on becoming a teacher, which includes the ups and downs that you have experienced all throughout that voyage?
All right. Speaking of my journey, I always begin with how I started as a young person. You know, I just as what I've said, I came from a poor family. I go to school using slippers on my feet. I go to school sometimes using like eco bags and plastics when going to school. I usually go to school without even having my breakfast, or at some point having noodles or dried fish as my lunch or dinner. And it's lucky that if we have, full course meal in every meal for the day. So I always start with the humble beginnings that I had in my life. So I started that way. I used those experiences for me to take a leap on my life, and be able to achieve better, not just for myself, for my family, even for my mother who's still alive, and with my fellow, with my sisters and other relatives. So starting with my personal life, using those as ladder in my, in achieving success. Partly I could say success, even a small things, I always consider that as success. So with that, when I was at that age, like what do you call that, thinking of a course to take in college, my first choice really is to be a psychologist. However, my parents were not able to bring me to college or send me to college because we don't have enough money. So the the colegio gave me the opportunity to study in Madrid. So it has been one of the important thing that happened in my life. Being able to be educated free with the perks of the institution. So that's being a scholar of Letran. So I worked hard as a student assistant. That's merely being a scholar there, and being able not to have the scholarship, but to be able to get experiences from what I did as a student assistant. And then when I was in third year or fourth year, I had a scholarship from a certain company that's Consolidated Industrial Gases Incorporated, CIGI. So I don't know if it's existing right now. So I had a scholarship. They believed in me. They believed in my grades. So I was able to graduate as an education student. So with my standpoint, coming from a poor family, having no you know uh, very nice clothes, or even when I was a starting teacher before. So I was able to be myself at that point. I was thinking right now all those things that happened to me. So at some point, some others would tell me that those are sad experiences. But for me, I always take that as a learning opportunity, as a guide, and as a gauge for any of the successes that I would want to have in my life. So, as I've said a while ago, I'm still a success in the making. So I'm still working out on some things that I could do and I could still share with the others. So from that point, during my first year of being a teacher, perfectness score 2%, over 100%. Why? Because the 98% always fell before into improvement. So I was just 19 years old then when I graduated in college. When I was in college, going back there a little, I received 2 awards when I was in college. That was being the academic excellence awardee, and the other one, the most important award in Latran, being the rector's awardee. So achieving those, at that point, I was able to look at my future, that I truly have the potential for me to move forward on a greater leap, to be able to share myself with the others using my potentials as well, and my opportunities that I had and my experiences that I had as well. And then during the first year of my teaching, 98% always fell into room for improvement. Only I can see 2% of achievement for myself. So at that moment, I feel like going back and evaluating again what I can do and what I cannot do. Some of you may be asking, how were you able to evaluate yourself? You were just 19 years old. Did it really cross your mind during that time? If I may say, yes, because during that time, I have the goal, and my goal is to be a better person. Not to be the perfect one, but just a better person. So, guiding myself with that 98%, I could say that I was able to add more percentage to the strengths, the 2% strength that I had in year 2000. So I graduated in 2000. So you see, I'm already in my 21st year of teaching on June. So those years, I was able to add 0.5%, 2%, and then another 5%. And then at some point, I always fail. But as if you were able to watch my my speaking engagement in LSPU in Los Baños, I always say about the letters STR. STR means stand, try, and repeat. So for me, whenever I fail, starting from year 2000 up until now, I always see myself doing the STR. That is why I came up into that acronym. And I was spread and I was able to share it with the people there in LSPU. And I am still sharing this acronym to others because it's us. We must always stand for what we think is better for our life, that others could benefit from us, and we have to do the T, and that is try. We have to try harder. If we really cannot do something better, just believe in yourself and do it next time and do it again. So we have to try harder. And R is repeat. At some point, if you fail, you have to go back and you have to repeat the process. So for me, it's always empowering myself from what I can do, because from what we can do, other people will benefit from what we have. I always believe in that because as a woman, as a mother, as a colleague, as a worker, I always juggle from one role to another. That's my journey, and I always fight for everything, especially if it's good for myself, for the other people, and for my colleagues as well. And lastly, when you ask me about journey, I do not actually dwell into those bad experiences that I had. Yes, we may always encounter bad experiences, but as I always say, it's a matter of perspective. We have to change the way we see things, because if we are going to see things as positive, we could imbibe it to ourselves and be able to share positivity to others. So my journey is more of doing what is good for myself and for the others, sharing myself and being able to understand what's going on and changing the way I see things. So that's how I do my journey as a teacher.
I think, Ma'am Mayor, you just proved me that humble beginnings could really lead you into special places if you will just persevere, and that is no hindrance could challenge someone if he or she will just stand strong with his dreams and also with what is good and avoiding what is wrong. And I could say that I am really glad to interview you or to have the opportunity to ask you some questions that could inspire me and also other students who are on the process of achieving their dreams. However, let me pass the stage to Mr. Romel Laron to continue this interview. I guess he also have some questions regarding your journey as a teacher. Thank you.
Oh, yes. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Miss Elbow. And yet, Ma'am Villamor, good afternoon, ma'am. I have my question for you. As a teacher, since we are facing the global COVID-19 pandemic, how did you cope up to this pandemic situation?
Okay, now we are talking about coping up with the challenges that we have, both in struggling with the illness, and the other one is struggling the advancement of technology. You know, at the current year, since 2020, we were challenged by technology. For myself, I am not a digital native. I am a digital migrant. When we say digital migrant, I wasn't born with technology, with full blast of technology. The technology started like mobile phones and texting one-line texting, two-line texting started when I was teaching during my first year of teaching. I can still remember those times that I had to study how to send text messages and all. And we do not have yet that kind of technology where we can actually see the other people from other parts of the country or the world at the other side of the screen. So this one is truly, not truly, but it's real that technology truly gives us wide space for opportunity. Now, asking me about my journey or my struggles or my challenges in terms of the use of technology and experiences during this pandemic, if I may say, the reality here is that we have the pandemic not only in the Philippines but in the global scenario, right? This isn't just a medical phenomenon, but it is something that we are forced to live with. The pandemic knows no race, age, gender, degree, and even status in the society. And the most important or not important, but a prominent impact that I can see since the start of the pandemic is the effect on people, primarily on teenagers, on young adults like you. It's more of the problems and anxiety, stress, and I could say at some point some other people experience depression. So everywhere we go, children and young adults experience sadness, right? And I believe at some point you have seen it and you have felt it because we have been within our houses for several months now, not being able to see our friends and classmates and teachers. And some may be stuck from a certain place away from their families. It is difficult truly to battle in this type of illness, in this kind of illness, because of the underlying factor that we have and that we experience. Now, aside from that, me as a teacher, especially if you can listen or if you can hear your teachers as well, we are all challenged by technology and related factors. And what are these factors? Lack of resources, equipment, platforms, internet connections, mismatch, of course, that it is. Unclear instructions, inadequate information, cooperation from different sectors, especially this one, distractions from online and home distractions, and especially coping mechanism. So these are primarily the challenges. Now, what do I do with this kind of experience or scenario or circumstance that we have in this season? Now, if I may say, I always go for what you call STAR. See, I always have acronym in everything. So this STAR approach for me is a better approach. This is a personal approach. You cannot see it in any of the books that you will see in the market because it's just in my mind, and I was able to share this during a webinar with the parents and teachers as well in Colegio de San Agustin, if I'm not mistaken. That was last month. So I have this STAR approach. This is basically what I do as a mom, as a teacher, as a colleague at the time of pandemic. Now, the STAR approach is STAR. So it's more of stand, talk, affirm, and renew. Now, for me, this approach gave me a better gauge for me to see the reality and a guide for me to move on. Moving on, showing the love for myself, for my family, for my students, for the parents of my students and their families, for my co-workers, colleagues, and most especially for those people who really are at the other side of my screen, who could just see me at the screen. Now, and those people also who always listen to me whenever I have speaking engagements. So, as for me, is stand. So when we say stand, we have to stand for ourselves. We have to stand to take self-care. We have to make a stand to do what is right. Because at some point, we have to understand that if we stand, we teach ourselves to do what is right. We teach other people to do what is right as well. And we teach ourselves to train ourselves. And what is that training for? Training is for internalizing our values. Now, if we are able to internalize our values, we could see positivity around. Now, we have to take a stand to have self-care. We have to have self-care, and this is very important. Now, physical care, that's important. Emotional care, important. Social care, important. Moral care, especially. Those are primarily the things that I always consider when I say the word stand. Now, if we stand for what is right, we have to make a stand for our family. Now, doing what is right is giving everything that we have right now to our family. Now, they are the very first persons who could actually see our happiness, our sadness. So we have to make a stand for ourselves to showing them that we value them. Now, in terms of valuing, I always say about time because time is an investment. Now, at some point, I always cuddle my kids. I always have time for teaching my own kids, and I have time for listening to the parents of my students, for asking my students how they are, for posting in my social media about positivity, because right now people may be posting a lot of ranting for the government, a lot of negativities about other people. But as a teacher, I always have to make a stand. And my stand always is to be positive as always. It's not always easy to show positivity because at some people it's not good to always show positivity. It's like hypocrisy or being plastic or two-faced or something. But if you yourself can show positivity to other people, those people may have an impact on what you say on social media or on what you do in your actual life. It's not hypocrisy to stay positive. Yes, we always have to stay positive. And I do believe that if we stay positive, we are able to show other people that they have to be strong as well, and that they have to be themselves, and they have to do magic with their families and students. When I say doing magic with the families and students, this is basically making an influence to others. That's my own term of making influence to others. I do magic. So aside from S, we have T, and that is talk. It's important to talk to the people around us. At some point, we have to communicate and collaborate with them. A family talk will do, a friendly talk will do, a simple joke, a simple clean joke will do, because communication, everyone in your family will be positive and open-minded. Everyone in the support system, the school, the student, you as a teacher, you will be open-minded. This communication does not apply alone between the learners and the teachers, between the teachers and the administrators of the school, but primarily it's between you as a student, between you as a person and you again for your inner self. So we have to communicate at some point in ourselves. Now, others may say, are you crazy? Are you going to talk to yourself? Yes, I do that a lot of time. It's not being crazy, because when you talk to yourself, it's like having brainstorming, thinking of the things that you can actually do, because admit it, not all people who are laughing with you are your friends, and not all people brainstorming with you are truly cooperative of you. But I always believe that at some point you have to believe in what you can do. So you have to think, because during this pandemic you are at home. You cannot truly go to your friends and ask. You cannot, yes, you may call them or something, but I do believe if an idea, if love, if happiness, if a certain activity comes from you and you planned it well, you will be able to share influence with others. So I believe in communication and collaboration. And then the next one is A, that is affirm. Now, when we affirm ourselves at this point of pandemic, we motivate others to stay positive. Now, for parents like me, we affirm by being the number one fan or cheerleader of our kids inside our home during the doing the online learning. Now, if we are a teacher, our affirmation must come from having conversation with our students, affirming them how how good they are in school, how excellent their works are, and as a student like you, affirmation must come from you as a friend, meaning showing your care and letting them know that the other people matter. So for me during this pandemic, I always say positive things to others. I always post positivity in social media. When I talk to people, I try to be as good as I can be, or as better as I can be, because I always thought, or I always think that whatever I say and whatever comes out of my mouth will be believed in by people. So I believe to stand, to talk, to affirm is telling others or telling the people behind the screen or telling my family within my reach or telling my friends who are talking to me that they are worthy and that they are possible. And the last one truly matters, and that is R, and that is renew. We have to renew our faith with ourselves, believing in ourselves, have faith in those people around you. We have to commit again to our growth and be able to do professional growth. What Sir Atensia and my other friends in the international quarantine conversation are actually part of the professional growth that I personally experienced. So this one is very personalized for me. And lastly, when we renew, we always have to remember that we cannot give what we don't have. We cannot love if we do not love ourselves. We cannot have respect if we do not respect other people. So renewing ourselves and the love for the people around us on a daily basis is partly doing ourselves a favor. And that favor is remaining calm, staying resilient, being bold to every decision that we do, and being able to strengthen our weaknesses, our strengths, and battle with the weaknesses that we have. And for that, I could say that we have to be mindful. Above all, we have to be mindful ourselves, our actions, the words that comes out of our mouth, and the way we think. So that's too long. Sorry.
Yes, you're all right, ma'am. And I'm so very grateful for that. I like your answer and your thoughts. And if you ask me about that, I am affected though in that pandemic. I'm just still focused on my academics and just to make a better future than effects on that pandemic. And I didn't think it so. But for now, we're moving on to the last two questions. Where
Yay.
um came from Miss Jafar. And Miss Jafar, are you there?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Leron. So, ma'am, it's beyond doubt that you have gone very far in your professional career in teaching, and it's been almost 21 years since you started your career. And You've gone through ups and downs. As you have mentioned a while ago, you are into writing inspirational and motivational songs. So, can you give us some ways on how you influence or inspire your students inside the four pillars of the classroom and, of course, during this pandemic?
Okay, as I've said, I'm not perfect. It's not that I don't get mad or don't get irritated with the things around me, but primarily one thing that I always show my students is my smile. So I believe that if we are going to show our smile to our students, it's actually influencing them that life is just being happy and life is having a good sense of mindfulness and um, self-expression and what do you call that? Uh, the simplicity or the beauty of life. So um, from that question, I could say that having or always showing my best smile, my students, being able to um, show them or you know whenever a lesson is very difficult, I always have to do my responsibility, and that is to lighten up the mood inside the classroom and being able to simplify. There is no perfect formula when it comes to teaching. Like Sir Bryant know that he knows that there is no perfect formula when it comes to teaching. But in our daily basis, we do always have the module or lesson plan. But whenever we have the difficulty in teaching, we always have the right or the opportunity to change what is written. So you have to put a little sense of humor there. You have to smile. You have to use the advancement of technology, like using the breakout rooms, using different educational portals or venues for the students, like use the wheel of names in calling them. At some point, we may use songs. Sometimes I sing. I sing in my class, and I just believe so. So I always sing, and my students would love it. So those things that are the things that I do, and also this is one of the things that I usually do. I always communicate with parents because the triangle is very important. The triangle represents the school, the teacher, and the parents, and at the center of that triangle are the students. So basically, I always go back into that shape and then be mindful of the ups and downs of every student. So I would always go to the parents and ask and make consultations and affirm them that we can help. And then I always think of plans or ways and communicate with my superior and my fellow teachers as well, so we could come up into a better plan. So one thing is very important for me, and I remember it right now, is being 2 steps ahead of every situation. So yes, we had the pandemic. We were not able to prepare for that, and we learned from it, and we learned from the hardest way. So I think the next time that I do not hope for next time. What I mean is that I think the next time we have certain concerns like this, or anything or any concern that we have to plan ahead of time, like 2 steps ahead of the curve. So in learning, there is always the learning curve, or the rocky part, or the unsmooth part. So we have to plan 2 steps ahead, and then we have to be able to communicate with the family or the stakeholders. So those are the basic things that we have to come up with, and in terms of battling with the pandemic and doing the actualization in school. Yeah, that's it. I think that's the most important thing that I can say.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Villamor, for that wonderful and very inspirational words. And as a future educator, I would also love to inspire my students, and I can't wait to do so. So, lastly, do you have any message to our dear listeners?
Um, my message for the families out there, if we have families here, we always have to love each member of our household. It's because, especially those who are studying, we have to understand that if we adult are experiencing difficulty in terms of work from home, it is the our kids or our students or our kids at home, our students at home, who are truly experiencing a lot of difficulty. So for those parents out there, I do believe, instead of punishing our kids, instead of, because I can say that some, it's not perfect, the world is not perfect, so I believe there are some experiences or negative experiences by students inside their own home. I do not generalize or anything. I do not mean anything about that. But as a parent, we must be able to show love and care rather than punishment and hitting. Because in school, teachers cannot do that. But teachers won't do that if they are entitled, because teachers love their students. So we parents, since we are at our homes, we all have 100% of time to give love, to give back to our kids. So basically, instead of frowning at them, instead of shouting at them if they cannot really do something out of their task at school, if they if we feel like hitting them or scolding them, why not just show love by hugging them, cuddling them, patiently asking them how they are every day, showing the love that they need through our smile, and cheering them up, especially when they fail in their task. For the students like you and younger ones, we always have to show respect inside our homes. Remember not to use gadgets when you are not allowed. Remember to say true or honest things at home. Remember also to reciprocate what your parents, what from the love that your parents are giving. You know, if we parents are giving the love that you need, we also want to be loved. So those kids out there, show extra or more love to your family, especially to your siblings. Now, for professionals who are listening right now, this is very personalized for me. So I believe that in being a teacher, we must always be mindful that with children being loved, they tend to accomplish amazing and wonderful things. And we teachers, we are their number one motivation. Every student deserves to be inspired by a passionate, caring, knowledgeable educator or teacher like you, because you curate every lesson and brings the curriculum to life by making it meaningful, enjoyable, relevant, and vibrant. And for everyone who are listening right now, always remember to be the champion in someone else's lives. I always believe in my advocacy that every child can succeed. We may not be a child, but we are always in a working progress. So we must always believe in the impossible and trust that every child or every single person can succeed. We, be it parents and teachers, professionals, students, we are born to make a difference. And I do believe that if we believe in ourselves, other people will be able to succeed with what we can achieve and what we can actually provide. Now, lastly, this is last. Since we are born to make a difference, be a miracle to other people. So that's it. I hope you had a great time with me.
Okay, ma'am, we have just talk for just an hour, but I would gladly say that you have a very interesting journey and you really are an inspiring educator. And I salute you for being able to stand up bravely despite the hurdles in life and give rise to positivity. So, can I call on Mr. Atensha?
Thank you so much, my dear co-hosts, my fantastic students. You were such an amazing co-host for this episode. And just to give my thoughts to Ma'am Villamor, as if, ma'am, I was brought back to the time that we are listening to your lessons. It was so heartwarming. I felt like I'm inside C310, listening to the wonderful words that you are sharing to us, not just the academics, but then all about the life that we're about to face, which I'm facing right now. So, while I'm listening here, it is a very good way to reminisce the memories that I'm about to share to all my students, including my wonderful hosts. So once again, Ma'am Villamor, thank you very much. It's really an honor, and this is really worthwhile, ma'am. I haven't noticed the time, okay? But then what I've noticed, ma'am, is all the wonderful things that you shared to us. You're still the same Ma'am Villamor that we've met before, and right now, you're still inspiring us, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Bryant, because I was able right now. Actually, when Romel, Shamira, and Miss Elbow asked me about several questions, I was able to reminisce, which helped me again to go back to my goal, and that is being able to share myself with others. And this one thing that I forgot to say is just remain your feet on the ground. So we have to stay humble, even if whatever we have achieved in life and whatever things that we have done for other people. So, some people might see us as if we are bragging everything. But as I always say, sharing myself, my story, my journey, my endeavor, my milestone, my hardship, my experiences with other people, it's an open book. It's an open learning book for others. It's a learning opportunity for others to see how well can a very poor person with different wearing slippers when I was younger, was able to do things like this, even in my subject English. When I was younger, I'm too afraid to speak in front of a lot of people, but I was able to battle it, and yay. Still I'm doing it right now. Anyways, thank you so much for inviting me, and this is a great opportunity for me. Thank you so much, dear students, and of course, Sir Atensha.
You're most welcome, ma'am. Finally, I was able to showcase one of the inspiring educators who built me, and I hope you have built the minds, the thoughts, and the future of these three wonderful co-hosts of mine, ma'am. So again, I would like to say from the bottom of our hearts, ma'am, me and my co-hosts would like to thank you. Thank you very much, po. Co-host, anything that you would like to say before we closed up this episode?
Thank you very much, Ma'am Villamor. You've inspired us very much, and I'm glad to reflect in from today until the future.
And
Emmy.
as also a person or a student from a poor family, I was really moved, and I feel the heartfelt message of your thoughts and perspectives that you have shared. And I would use that as my inspiration to continue striving hard, because I also believe that one day I could also achieve my dreams like you did.
Yes,
Romel?
ma'am. I'm so very grateful nga po for your thoughts, your answers to our questions, and I've always taught myself to to make hard work as always. And I am so inspired to your thoughts, ma'am. Thank you so much.
That's really wonderful to hear. And to all my listeners, you've just heard one of the inspiring educators who build up your hosts. There are lots of them out there, and I hope that I could invite them drop by in this humble podcast for everyone. So once again, this is your host, Brian, together with my co-hosts Shamira, Revili, and Romel. Thank you so much for listening to Inspiring Educators. See you again next episode. Have a good day.